Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a topic that's super important for keeping your car running smoothly but often flies under the radar: the symptoms of a failing water pump. If you've ever had a car overheat on you, you know just how frustrating and potentially dangerous it can be. The water pump is a key player in preventing that from happening. So, let's dive in and see what signs you should be looking out for to catch water pump problems early. So, what exactly does the water pump do? In simple terms, it circulates coolant through your car's engine and radiator, helping to keep everything at the right temperature. Without it, your engine can overheat, leading to serious damage and expensive repairs. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what happens when your water pump starts to fail. One of the first symptoms you might notice is an overheating engine. This one's a no-brainer. If your water pump isn't working properly, the coolant can't circulate effectively, and your engine will start to overheat. Keep an eye on your temperature gauge. If it's consistently running hotter than usual, or if you see the warning light come on, it could be a sign that your water pump is on its way out. Another common symptom is coolant leaks. The water pump has seals and gaskets that can wear out over time, causing coolant to leak. If you notice puddles of coolant under your car, especially near the front, it's a red flag. Coolant is usually green, orange, or pink, and it has a sweet smell. If you see or smell something like that, get your car checked out as soon as possible. You might also hear strange noises coming from the front of your engine. A failing water pump can make a whining or grinding noise, especially if the bearings inside are worn out. This noise can get louder as you accelerate, and it's definitely something you don't want to ignore. Imagine driving down the road with your car sounding like a distressed blender. Not exactly the soundtrack you want for your road trips. Another symptom to watch for is steam coming from your radiator. If your water pump is failing and your engine starts to overheat, you might see steam coming from under the hood. This is a serious warning sign, and you should pull over immediately to let your engine cool down before checking things out. Driving with an overheating engine can cause severe damage. You should also keep an eye on your car's heater. If you notice that the heater isn't blowing hot air like it used to, it could be a sign of a failing water pump. The water pump helps circulate coolant through the heater core, and if it's not doing its job, you'll feel the difference on those cold mornings. Now, let's talk about some less obvious symptoms. One of these is rust and corrosion on the water pump itself. If you're handy and don't mind getting under the hood, take a look at your water pump. If you see signs of rust or corrosion, it's a bad sign. This can happen due to old, dirty coolant or a faulty seal that's allowing moisture to get in. Either way, it's a sign that your water pump might be nearing the end of its life. Another subtle symptom is a loss of coolant without any visible leaks. If you're constantly topping up your coolant but don't see any leaks, it could be due to a failing water pump. Sometimes the coolant can leak internally or evaporate from a small crack in the pump that's not easily visible. A more technical symptom is fluctuating temperature readings. If your temperature gauge is all over the place, going from normal to hot and back again, it could be due to an inconsistent flow of coolant caused by a failing water pump. This is less common, but definitely something to be aware of. So, what should you do if you suspect your water pump is failing? The best course of action is to get your car checked by a professional mechanic. They can perform a thorough inspection and confirm if the water pump is the culprit. If it is, they can replace it for you. Replacing a water pump isn't typically a DIY job unless you're very experienced with car repairs, as it involves draining the coolant and removing several components to get to the pump. Regular maintenance is key to preventing water pump failure. Make sure you're getting your cooling system inspected regularly and that you're using the right type of coolant for your car. Old or incorrect coolant can cause damage to your water pump and other parts of the cooling system. It's also worth noting that water pumps generally last a long time, often up to 100,000 miles, but this can vary depending on your car and driving conditions. If your car is getting up there in mileage, it's a good idea to be extra vigilant about checking for these symptoms. To wrap things up, keeping an eye out for symptoms like engine overheating, coolant leaks, strange noises, steam from the radiator, heater issues, rust and corrosion, coolant loss, and fluctuating temperature readings can help you catch a failing water pump before it causes major damage. So, have you ever had to deal with a bad water pump? What symptoms did you notice first? Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more car maintenance tips and tricks. Thanks for watching, and drive safe.